Students to my channel Learning Made Easy. This is especially for students who find science or biology difficult to understand and learn. I have tried to make these lectures as easy as it can be and can be understood by all. I am Roxana Marks, a retired principal and P.G.T for the last 32 years teaching biology. And I'm sure you will like these and will understand them easily and make your learning very easy. Today, friends, I'll start with the most vital organ of our body, and that is human heart. Human heart is a pump-like organ which is situated within the rib cage in between the lungs. It is constantly working without stopping and is an organ which pumps almost 5 to 6 liters of blood in the body daily. Every minute it is pumping around the time of 72 times per minute. This speed does not allow the heart to take rest, but the relaxation between the contraction helps the heart to gather energy and work constantly. Structure of the heart is four-chambered structure which has two auricles and two ventricles. I will be using different colors to predict the both sides of the heart, that is the left side and the right side. Left side receiving oxygenated blood while the right side receiving deoxygenated blood from the body. I'll be using red color for oxygenated blood, that is normally the color of the arteries, and blue color I'll be using for making the right side of the heart, that is deoxygenated blood, from which the oxygen has been used. Auricles are the upper part of the heart and are thin walled structures which receive blood from the lungs on the left side and from the body on the right side. Another very important thing which students may not be knowing is the structure, how we label it. When I label this portion that is on my right hand, I will be labeling it as left auricle. This phenomena sometimes bother the student. Why do we label left with the right hand? Now this is very simple. Whenever a doctor operates you, the operation will always be from the ventral side of the human body, like this. So this becomes my left and this becomes my right. So we label it accordingly. So we have left auricle and right auricle. On the lower end we have the ventricles. A simple thin septum separates the auricles, normally called as interauricular septum. While on the other hand, we have the ventricles, which is separated by another septum called as interventricular septum. The wall of the left ventricle is thick. While the wall of the right ventricle is quite thin as compared to the right one. The space between the auricles and the ventricles are guarded by two valves. The valve on the right side is called as tricuspid, while that on the left side is called as bicuspid. When I say bicuspid and tricuspid valve, this side it is tricuspid valve. These valves are guarded accordingly by the name with number of valves. Bicuspid has just got two valves present, while the tricuspid valves have three valves. These valves are big muscular structures which are like this. 1, 2, and the third one. These tricuspid valves, they bend downwards, put a pressure and are quite closely packed so that there is no leakage of blood when they are closed. It's only when the auricles contract they can send the blood to the ventricles. While on the other hand, the space between these are guarded by two big vessels. One vessel is called as aorta and is placed on the left side of the heart. This big vessel comes out of the heart, bends downwards, This is called aortic arch or aorta. On the other hand, that is the right side, the right side again has a big vessel, but this vessel is not a single vessel. It comes out of the heart and divides into two.
Start.
This big vessel is called as pulmonary aorta. Or the second name to this is pulmonary artery. This divides into two and each branch leads into different lungs. One on the right side, this is to the right lung. And this one goes to the left lung. Both these big vessels are guarded by semilunar valves on the end. Now, what are these semilunar valves? Semi, as you know, is half. Lunar pertains to the moon. So we can say the semilunar valves are similar to the moon. They are like this, half moon shaped. These valves are 3 in number and they guard aorta as well as pulmonary artery. The left auricle receives blood from both the lungs with a set of pulmonary veins. This is from the left lung, from the right lung, and this is from the left lung. Similarly, the right auricle receives two big vessels. One is called as precaval and the other is called as postcaval. The precaval receives blood from the upper part of the body. When I say upper part, I mean upper than the heart. And the postcaval receives blood from the lower part of the body. That is from the toe, beginning from the toe of my body till the heart. Now these two, they open in the right auricle, while the pulmonary veins, they open into the left auricle. Now the ventricles, they have a septum between them. This is called as interventricular septum. While the septum present between the auricles is called as interauricular septum. Interauricular septum. These raised portions in the heart have thread-like structures called as chordae tendineae. They support the heart and keep the ventricle informed. Normally these are large and are united with the upper part of the heart. Both sides have them. The end of the heart is called as heart apex. This is right ventricle. This is left ventricle. Now when both veins they bring blood from the lungs and pour the oxygenated blood into the left auricle. Simultaneously, the right auricle receives blood from precaval and postcaval. When both auricles are filled with blood, they contract simultaneously. And as they contract, bicuspid and tricuspid valves give way. They are stretched apart. This results in the blood from the auricles to flow down into the ventricle. From the left auricle to the left ventricle, from the right auricle to the right ventricle. They are not allowed to mix as they are separated by a septum called as interventricular septum. This is not the case in amphibians. In amphibians, we have mixed blood in the ventricle as the heart is three-chambered. But in case of mammals, it is four-chambered and the oxygenated and deoxygenated blood does not mix here. Now, when the ventricles are filled with blood, they simultaneously contract. And as they contract, this forces the semilunar valves present at the end of the pulmonary artery and aorta to open up. Now, opening of these valves will lead to oxygenated blood in the aorta, deoxygenated blood in the pulmonary artery. Now, when the blood reaches these big vessels, aorta takes oxygenated blood and circulates it through the body for fresh oxygen supply to the cells of the body. While on the other hand, right ventricle takes the deoxygenated blood, and I have labeled them to the right lung and to the left lung, where they are oxygenated again. That means they will leave carbon dioxide there and will gain oxygen there. Now the blood is again called oxygenated blood, which will enter back into left auricle for the circulation in the body. In the same way, the right auricle gives the blood to the lungs. Now the blood goes from the body back to the heart and from the lungs and then back to the heart. Now this circulation, as it is completed in 2 cycles, is called as double circulation. To know more, I will continue this as working of heart in my next lecture. Thank you for watching.